So, what do you want to talk about? I don't even know if the mic, because, yeah, the settings on here is shit, so I'm just loosening my pants. Oh, you want to make a comment about that, you fucking bitch, honey? There's someone on here that she's got a dirty fucking mind. So if I put the mic over here. Alright, so what do you want to talk about? So, I've been going through a lot the last few months, and I've only got one job now, because the other job that I was, well, I've got technically two, but the other job that I was working for, what's the nicest way to say it? They were literally screwing me over, bending me over and fucking me in the ass without lube, basically. Saying that I was doing all these shifts and then I wasn't even doing, like I was, like, legit sick for a month, and then I get told that my job provider's like, oh, you've been doing these hours and getting paid this? I'm like, no, I haven't even worked for a month. And it said on the other company's thing that I've been working all these days. Like, no, I didn't even work any of those days. I was fucking sick. I had a bladder infection. I had, what did I have? A bad virus or some shit. I don't know. I was gone for a month. Am I okay now? Speculation. I'll leave it to you. I watched the news for the first time tonight in a while. I don't usually watch the news, and I've just discovered why I don't watch the news. When all it is death, babies dying, pigs, 200 pigs getting burned alive, like, I don't want to hear that shit. And then I don't want to hear about in 2090, don't forget we're in 2025 right now, in 2090, you know, more people will die from the heat wave here where I live, and it's like, I won't even be alive in 70 years, for fuck's sakes. Or 60, or 50, or 40, or 30. And they're bringing stuff up that doesn't even affect me. Like, but you're worrying people now. Like, I also been getting tired of getting fucking treated like shit lately, whether it's some people at poker for homophobic and racist remarks. I will not stand for racist remarks, and I will not stand for homophobic thing. If someone's gay, that's their business. Why do you have a problem with it? I get called on a weekly basis that I'm gay when I'm not. I'm straight. I'm not bi. I'm not gay. And there was this person that was giving me trouble for a few weeks, and I got to a point where I reported it to one of the managers at the venue, and I reported it to the person in charge of poker because I'm getting sick and tired of it. I will smash that guy if he opens his fucking mouth. See, there's a rule in poker, it's called poker etiquette, right? You can play whatever cards you want, but there's no need to deliberately make it hard for other players with abuse and being obnoxious and all that. In some places you can get banned for being like that. Going all in, no look, raise, no look. That's not poker. You're being a fucking idiot. When you even admit at the table, oh, I'm only calling cards and playing every hand to piss people off. Well, if you're going there to piss people off, that's not allowed. And then there's people that are actually drunk at poker and they still let them play. I'm sorry, but that's just fucking wrong. You know, if you work behind a bar, you know when you can stop serving someone alcohol. And unfortunately, people don't seem to, sorry, I'm just getting, who's messaged me? I gotta read this comment. I'll let you, comment on this. So, some girl was dating a guy, and he's an abusive prick that can't even keep his hands off her. So they broke up, and obviously they caught up recently, and he attacked her by biting her fingers. Last time I checked, that's something a dog would do, but a guy. The guy seems like a piece of shit, and when I first, because I've been on this person's Facebook for actually a while, Just hold the phone. So I was just talking to my friend there. It's been about 7 minutes since I did this. But I'm just saying, in life, we've got to realize that we're not getting younger. We don't need to put up with abuse. Whether it's racism, whether it's homophobic slurs. And might I add on that topic, the Crows player that made a homophobic slur, and I'm going to say this because I'm angry about this subject. Number one, he called someone a cocksucker. And it was to a player that isn't gay, and it was to a player that's had issues with him in the past. Calling someone a cocksucker doesn't mean gay, anything. He didn't use the F word. He didn't say anything in a homophobic ring. It's just calling someone a cocksucker. You call someone a fuckhead, like it's the same thing. So, yeah, I was angry about hearing that because that doesn't fit the homophobic slur, and it doesn't fit, it's just, you hear worse than a fucking, people working together. You hear worse than that. So, but currently at the poker venue that I play at, I'm ranked second there. About 30 points behind first. I like 95% of the people there. Some great people there, honestly. Some Vietnamese people there, some Asian people, something. And they're very nice. You can joke around and, good people. But then there's people that come in random times, these drunk idiots that ruin the game. And I told the person in charge, sorry, I'm talking to someone on the side here. I've told the person in charge, you've got to stop this bullshit. We're here to play poker. We're not here to put up with abuse, put up with drunk idiots and obnoxiousness. At the moment, someone said to me, by the way, you like my shirt? God's got me. I'm religious. Getting over it. Someone said my weakness is my kindness. Now, for anyone that's dated me, no matter how much you hate me, I have got a nice side of me. I am too nice. Because my fiance of 6 years told me, she taught me a lot. If she knew me now, she'd be like, fuck, you've changed. You're a lot decent person now, because I had to change because she told me to. I got my shit together. I worked out my issues and my demons. And I'm a better human being because of her. Sorry, I've got a message here. I'm just reading it at the moment. But yeah, as I'm saying, my kindness is my weakness. And let me tell you something. I had a partner 2 years ago. She's watching. I know she watches. Look, I'm not angry with you or him. I mean, technically you're part of the family, but you're not part of the family. And if I saw you both, I'd be peaceful. I think, eventually we all need to, even if you want to come, well, I guess you're both not welcome here, but you know how to contact me because I have another Facebook and you're not blocked on it. If you message me and be like, want to catch up, you know that we can't catch up because of that reason. If you get rid of that problem, legal reasons, then we can catch up. But I'm not going to get myself in trouble with the law, I do believe in peace. I mean, I do want peace. What you did was wrong. And you know that. I didn't deserve to get cheated on. I didn't deserve for my family to get involved. And considering my family absolutely despise you now, and him, you've ruined a family. That was your plan, was it? I rescued you from an abusive relationship. You were cheating on your boyfriend with me before I even met you. But yeah, if you're watching, I'm willing to make peace. There's a song by the Dixie Chicks called I'm Not Ready to Make Nice. I'm not ready to back down. I don't know. Because I'm mad as hell and I don't know what the fuck I am. Anyways, I know that this year has been an emotional roller coaster. I've hooked up with way too many girls. I'm up to 7 right now. What month are we in? And I could change that number from 7 to 9 tonight if I wanted to. I'd have to put on my pants and stuff, but I can't be fucked. As I was saying to my friend on the side, I was just saying, I don't want to just... I could hook up with 2 people in Brisbane. I could hook up with 2 people in Melbourne. I could hook up with 2 people in Sydney. Actually, 3 people in Melbourne, but that's a different story. I don't want to just do that all the time. I want some stability. Like, I have a type at the end of the day. I know we shouldn't judge people by types, but I do have a particular type. And for me to have a future with someone, they do have to work and drive and stay away from drugs. I'm sorry, but I don't do that shit. And I'm never going to do that shit. My main focus right now is just... So, the new house that I bought, so I sold my old one and got this new one. Once it's all nice and done, it's going to make me a lot of money. A fortnight. To a point where financially I'll be a little bit better and I can go on my holiday. But as I said to someone that I'm interested in here at the moment, like, she said to me, "Oh, why don't you win the Cross Lotto? You deserve it." And I'm like, I don't need to win the Cross Lotto. I just need to find someone decent that I could settle down with and have a future with, kids, marriage, and all that shit. Not fucking just... Like, I like hot blondes, don't get me wrong. But a hair colour... How you doing? A hair colour doesn't mean anything. Certain figure... Don't get me wrong, I'm more into skinny girls than big girls, but... I'm more... Why can't people that do have kids put their kids first? Instead of a certain person in Melbourne that likes to be with guys that like to hit her and her kids and likes to put her legs up for anyone. And I'm sorry, but I've said that in a couple of vids, but I mean that. There's a very bad person in Melbourne that, she's into guys that like to hit her. Into guys that like to hit her kids. Into guys that are drunk idiots that are women bashers. Be right back. But yeah, it is what it is. Like I said, I've got too much on my plate right now. Like, I want to get my house finished and rent it out. And to anyone that used to date me, you fucked up. Because I'm doing a lot better now. Even to a point where getting a bit of muscle, eh? I'm starting to fill out. And it's funny because there was a photo from 13 years ago. What I look like and what I look like now, I actually look better. Actually, I do have all my hair. I do have all my hair. Look, no grey. Surprisingly. Look, no fancy hairdos or anything like that. I still look good for my age. So, for anyone that's like, "Oh, you got fucked up hair, you got fucked up." Yeah, it's interesting. Some of you like to date guys that like to piss on the floor when they're drunk. If I was a girl, we'll say this, right? If I was a girl, what kind of person I would date? The guy has to work. He has to have an income. He has to be respectful for me and my kids, if I've got kids. He has to drive. He has to be independent. He has to act his age, not be a 27-year-old child or a 25-year-old child. Age is just a number, but when you date someone that's immature and you've got them around your kids... Not saying anything. Not saying anything. Because I can say something. I'm going to be honest with you. Except for my fiancé of 6 years, all the women I've dated have been trash. There has not been a decent one. All the people I've dated, none of them worked or drove. Only my fiancé of 6 years actually had 2 jobs. The only problem with my fiancé of 6 years, and I love her still, but I've got to be honest, she lets people control her life like a puppet on the strings. She needs to be independent. She needs to do her own thing. She needs to not let her parents, well, one parent, because her mother's not married to the guy. She needs to put her foot down and say, I live my life the way I want. I date who I want. Because I'll tell you what, if her family didn't get involved in our relationship, we'd still be together. We wouldn't have had a problem. Her family was the problem since day one. And that was the first time we dated. Even the second time, it was like, she didn't understand the pressure that they were putting me on. They were sending me to the loony bin. I don't blame her. I blame her family. Well, you know, her real dad's fucking amazing. Stepdad's an asshole. Mother is psychotic. Brainwashes her. And that's why, like, that's the thing. Like, this is real talk here. I'll get in trouble for this. I don't even give a fuck. My fiance meant so much to me for those 6 years. I never told her how much I appreciated and loved her. I think that was my mistake. I never told her how beautiful she is. And the problem is that, and maybe I should have asked for help in the relationship with her. I was trying to be someone that I wasn't. I was trying to hide the fact that, you know, I hated being around her family. Her younger sisters, the two youngest, they were fine. They always treated me with respect, and I got all respect for them, and I still have respect to them this day. But the two other ones that used to live with her, nasty pieces of work. And I don't want to go into details about the one she was living with, or could be still living with. That one there was a piece of shit. They treated my fiance to a point where my fiance didn't see how bad they were treating her. Like, it was just, they would use her, manipulate her, and they never let her grow up. She's so, and I hate this. I'm going to say this. I don't care if you're watching. What pissed me off the most is she's so fucking intelligent. She could do anything she wants. She could get her license. But they didn't give her enough credit. And I fucking hated that. Because she's not as dumb as what people make out. She has a disability, just like myself. But you wouldn't know that by looking at her. I hated the fact that she was doing good for her. She was losing weight. She was eating normal food and stuff. But then when someone brainwashed her into, well, if you go vegetarian, you know, you'll lose a lot more weight. You know, that's the way to go. And then she's like, well, I'll never be a vegan. And then she went a vegan. I was like, and you put on more weight after that. You're doing so well. You need the important foods in your diet. You need dairy. You need meat. You need vegetables. You need all these stuff. When you take away all the food groups, then you're just saying, you know, because she used to eat chicken teriyaki subs. She was, you know, she was losing weight. She was doing well for herself. And the moment she stopped eating meat and doing everything people told her, she gained it all back. And it breaks my heart because she let herself go. I still loved her no matter what. And I thought she was still beautiful no matter what. But I hated the fact that they brainwashed her to a point where it was like, you're never going to let her grow up. The guy she's with now, she's been with him since we broke up. And that's till this day, I still don't know how quick that was. Like, I took time before, you know, I moved on. But she didn't. It's like she threw away 6 years just like that. And don't get me wrong, what I did to her was wrong. But I'm not going to stand here and go, that was too quick. See, there was, because we broke up in December, 4 or 5 years ago. Alright. She was already with someone by January. Or the end of January or something. There was one night, a friend's like, you want to catch up? I'll tell the story. She's probably watching, I don't give a fuck. I love you, but you better know the truth. So there was a bad druggie that I met up with. And she's got like 2 kids or 3, I don't know. Anyways, one night, she's like, you just want to hang out, because she was having problems with her partner, and, you know, I was going through the stage where, you know, I just broke up with my... But I won't keep going on about, because it just pisses me off that I met up with the girl, we're in the car, it was at the beach, it was raining, and she's like, you just want to cuddle in the back? Sure. She's wearing this nice mini skirt and a nice top. And she just was like, you want her? And I'm like, we can try, but might be trouble getting it up. No, it was no trouble. So she mounted me, got on top of me, wrapped her legs around me, and we just kept fucking the shit out of each other. Literally just kept fucking and fucking. And now I was in a very bad place mentally at the time, and we just didn't stop, and we kept going and going, and got within about an hour and a half. She's like the windows were all steamed up, and she's like, you gave me a few. And I'm like, few what? She goes, orgasms. I'm like, oh, good. But she's like, you never come once, Andre. And I'm like, I didn't? And she's like, no, are you okay? I'm like, I'll be honest with you, love, I'd rather please you, and I'm just in a bad fucked up place right now. But yeah, it was, don't get me wrong, I mean, it was amazing, but I knew that then and there I felt bad because, yeah, she had a boyfriend and stuff, and I don't want to go on like that for the rest of my life doing that shit. But I don't learn my lesson. I keep fucking and fucking and hooking up to a point where I'm almost dead inside. I don't feel love in my heart anymore. I don't feel compassion, and when I do, it's for the wrong people. I mean, the fucked up people that I've been with this year, it's just, I'll be honest, the only decent person I've had was my fiance of 6 years. All the others have been just druggies, stoners, single mothers, and I've had enough of that shit. The ones from this year, if I've kissed you or dated you, you meant nothing to me. One of yous was, nice, but yeah, I just get to a stage in my life where I don't want to keep dealing with that shit, and I don't want to, just keep doing it. But anyways, I'm going to head off. I've got to edit this video dramatically because halfway through it stopped recording, so I've got to combine two parts into one. I don't know if you'll notice. If you notice it, good on you, but I'm good with the editing thing. My plans for the rest of the week, I got work tomorrow night. Gonna work on my house a bit and gonna play some Fortnite. I got up to level 100 on the battle pass. Fuck yeah. When kids are screaming at you going, come rescue me, and you're like, fuck no, there's 3 people shooting. If I come rescue you, I ain't gonna fucking rescue you. Let the other people try that shit. But if you need me, there'll be another vid coming soon. I've got some artwork here that I've salvaged from the old place, so looks good in here. Like I said, I still want to get this back, this wardrobe fixed. I'm supposed to be getting it fixed, but yeah. But if you need anything, message me on Facebook. If you're an ex that I've talked about in this vid, message me on my other Facebook. I'm willing to make peace. I have no hate, no anger, and if I dated you this year, I don't want anything to do with you. Straight up. Because I think the ones I've dated in January and February especially, you know who you are. You're the worst piece of shit in this planet right now. And you're both compulsive liars, and you're both disgusting. And I'll leave it at that. Check the 4 corners of your screen, and we'll talk soon.